So, today I'm here to explain to you how Planck's quantum theory and Einstein's theory of special relativity are directly correlated. Okay? So, Einstein's theory is E equals mc squared. Okay? Planck's quantum theory is E equals Planck's constant times frequency. Okay? So, these two are directly proportional to one another. I'm going to explain to you how that works in just 1 second. So, breaking down the theory is E is energy, H is Planck's constant, and V is the frequency of oscillations. Okay? So, to write this, you can basically write it as this. Joules, which is energy, equals Planck's constant, which is 6.6 6.626 times 10 to the negative 34th times frequency. Okay? So, all Planck's constant is a quantum measurement. Okay? It's a very, very small measurement that is used in quantum physics, things that are much smaller than atoms that can be measured. Okay? So, basically, the way that you can directly correlate these is, okay, so basically, a Planck unit is just a measurement, a very small measurement. Okay? The frequency, which is V, is, it can be compared to the X and Y on a graph. Okay? So, to be able to account for the oscillation, okay, you start here, you go down, you come up, go over, and that basically accounts is one entire oscillation. Okay? So, you can basically derive how much energy is coming from this by applying Planck's constant, which is basically just a really small quantum measurement, times how many oscillations happen within that Planck measurement. Okay? So, the way that the string, okay, because within my theory, everything is connected by one gigantically long, infinitely growing piece of string. Okay? And the only way that it is limited is by the speed of light. Okay? So everything, this string is coming from infinite directions, being pulled in, being pushed out, all moving at the speed of light. Okay? So, like I've said before, E equals mc squared. Okay, so E is directly proportional to magnetic waves. Mass is directly proportional to gravitational waves times the speed of light squared. So, how is Planck's quantum theory directly proportional to Einstein's theory of special relativity? Well, I'm going to tell you now. So, okay, this is the string, okay, and the more oscillations that are occurring within Planck's constant, this small measurement, the more energy that is basically being produced. Okay? So the way that works with the string is that if you take this thing and you connect it, put this to here, it'll just make a big loop like that. Okay? So if you twist it, what does it make? It makes an infinity symbol, which is the string, which basically connects everything in the infinite universe. Okay? So, the way that you can make the theory of special relativity directly proportional to Planck's quantum theory is you can basically compare E equals h Planck's constant times frequency. Okay, so E is magnetic waves. Planck's constant can be basically directly proportional to gravitational waves times the frequency, which is basically the string moving at the speed of light. And you have to square it because that accounts for going from a gratis to another. Okay? So, basically, if you take this and you put them together, what does that make? That makes a loop. Okay? So that can be compared to Planck's constant. Okay? And then how fast the speed of light can actually travel, because if it's traveling from here to here compared to here to here, it's going to take more time for the string to go from here to here than it is from here to here. Okay? So basically, that is how Einstein's theory of special relativity and Planck's quantum theory are directly proportional. Okay? Let me see if I can make sure that I explain that the easiest that I can. Yeah, because I mean, it's kind of difficult to explain it. I'm trying to explain it on a really fundamental level, but that's all it basically is energy is directly proportional to magnetic waves, mass is directly proportional to gravitational waves times the speed of light squared. Okay? So that's directly proportional to Planck's quantum theory because E is directly proportional to magnetic waves. Planck's constant, which is basically just a quantum measurement, which if you bend this, if you basically account for the oscillation and then you bend it, make it into a loop, bend it again, turns into an infinity symbol, and then whenever you account for gravitational and magnetic waves, magnetic is pushing everything out, gravitational is pulling everything in, that's basically the speed of light squared. They're directly proportional to one another. Okay? So, that's all that everything is it's basically just the string. It's oscillating from nothing to infinity, moving at the speed of light. That's how everything happens. Okay? And there's a couple things I'm working on with trying to explain the photon-electric effect and how exactly that works with the string, as well as entropy waves. Okay? So I figured this out the other day, and I think that it makes a lot of sense. Okay? So basically, your string is continually absorbing with the string that's outside of you, and at all times it's being absorbed by your string, pulled in, being basically added to your DNA, and you can say, well, how is that being added to my DNA? Well, whenever you stare at a flower or you look at a tree, you can remember that, right? It's becoming part of your DNA. You know what I mean? So that's the issue with entropy, is whenever you absorb meat, okay, there's the plants and things like that are still a part of the earth. I don't think they have as much entropy as entities that are free moving about the earth. So whenever you're eating meat, there's more entropy, there's more atoms, more molecules, different things like that, more string within meat than there is within plants, you know what I mean? Or water. There's more entropy within, soda or beer or wine than there is within water. So you're absorbing more entropy waves, okay? And the more entropy waves that you absorb, the faster that your atoms basically move towards oscillating towards infinity, which, as I've said before, 0 and infinity are basically the same thing. It's a big loop. So the faster that your atoms oscillate towards infinity, the closer you become to starting over again. You know what I mean? The birth, life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth. It's basically, it's like I've said before, everything in the universe is universal. That's pretty much how it works for everything. So yeah, that's all that I think that it is I think kind of more or less the trick to living a longer life. Now, I can't guarantee this, because there's a lot of external factors involved, but for the most part, if you absorb simpler string, such as drinking water and eating, salads and different things like that, odds are you're probably going to move towards, infinity at a slower rate because you're not absorbing as much entropy. You know what I mean? So I think basically that's a good theory relating to how the string basically sustains itself. But the more entropy that you're absorbing, that your string is absorbing, the quicker you're going to move towards infinity, and the quicker you're going to start over again. So, and what that starting over entails, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I have faith that that's the way it works. And I think if you really think about that, that's a very enlightening way to look at things, because after you die, your string is basically absorbed by everything else, and your energy moves on. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's basically how Einstein's theory of special relativity and Planck's quantum theory are directly proportional to one another. In a lot of ways, they're basically just the same thing. The only difference is that Planck's quantum theory is more or less accounting for the amount of oscillations, while Einstein's theory is accounting for the actual speed of light. Okay? So, basically, if the string is traveling from here to here, it's gonna go a lot faster than if it's got to travel from there to there. You know what I mean? Because it has more to go through. It's the same thing with beings such as us that are more or less our own entities from the Earth. You know what I mean? Everything in this room right now is being absorbed, including you. Those of you that are watching this video right now, you're absorbing the information that's coming from me. You're absorbing, more or less the atoms that are coming from me. The radio waves, there's the light waves, everything like that. And the only thing left over after you and all the atoms that surround you absorb that is pretty much gravity. It goes back to the origin of gravity of the Earth. So, yeah, it's all just string. So, I think that I explained it pretty well. But anyway, all right. Well, thanks for watching. Once again, if you'd like to contribute to Magnitus Toys on my GoFundMe, I'd appreciate it. If not, that's fine. And you can also check out magnitustoys.com, MAGNITIS, if you want to buy one of my magnetic toys. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching.